You don't need.
Alright guys, so we are working on page 6 and we're going to do 1 through 5. Hold on to it because when we finish the entire page we're going to turn it in for a homework grade, okay? So we're going to take until 8:30, which is 7 more minutes. 8:30 is 7 more minutes to get 5 problems from yesterday. So grab your notes real quick and let's turn to page 3. We're going to learn some new stuff today. Then you can leave. But the whole point is so that you can get your stuff made up. Alright guys, page 3. Again, this is still just a review from geometry. We're not learning anything new yet. We're getting there. But we got to review all this stuff first. Well, this is the fun part of geometry. Alright, here we go. So we always go off of our... Hey, come on.
Hey, does anybody have any donations for the 100 steak card?
Anybody have any change? $4 thing? Wallet? I'm sure they're going to come the rest of the way. How are you on page 2 of this one for you? Alright, here we go. You always go off your angle. What's your angle in this case? It's an actual number this time, okay? Alright, so from 38, what is the 10? There you go. And what is the x? There you go. So you don't have to do anything this time. It wants you to find this value right here, okay? You can't use Pythagorean theorem because you have two sides that you don't know. So what trig function is opposite and adjacent? Tangent. You always want to use those 3 ones, okay? The sine, cosine, and tangent. Don't use the other ones we learned because they're not on your calculator. So tangent is, so we're going to do tangent of our angle. So tangent of 38. And what was tangent? Whatever what? Opposite, which is 10. Perfect. Over adjacent, which is x. Y'all okay?
Are you always going to find tangent?
No. Whatever, like if this was, we're going to do another one. The reason we use tangent is because we had opposite and adjacent,
okay,
which
so
is tangent.
It corresponds with what?
Exactly. Yep. Alright, here we go. So you have division. Yes, ma'am. I do not have a pen, but there should be some pencils over there. Oh. I'm sorry, guys. They were supposed to come fix the copy machine, and it hadn't been fixed yet. So. Alright, here we go. So you see division. What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So we're going to multiply on both sides. What are we dividing by? You're dividing by x. That's what you're going to multiply by. So you have x times tangent of 38 equals 10. Alright, then we still have to get x by itself. So now you have multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication?
Division.
And what is with the x that I'm going to divide by? Of 38. There you go. And I'm divide by that whole thing. Alright, then you're going to grab your calculators. If you don't have one, go get one real quick. Alright, so when you plug this in your calculator, you're going to get a decimal that's very, 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 very long, okay? So if we don't have an exact answer, we use the little approximated equal sign because it's not exactly. So you get calculators? Phone's not going to work. You got to have calculators. Alright, here's the deal. You cannot just plug this straight in your calculator because these are not your calculators and other classes of mine use them and other classes use different modes. So right here next to the next to the second button is a mode button. You have to make sure that it is in degree mode. See how mine's in radian? Because I have another class that uses a different mode. You have to make sure it's in degree mode. If not, guys, you will get the wrong answer. Alright, so once you do that, hit the right arrow button and hit enter and make sure it's blinking on degree. Alright, once you do that, hit clear. Okay, now we can plug it in. 10 divided by tangent. Tangent is right above that parentheses, which is right above that 9. Tangent of 38. Close your parentheses, hit enter. There you go. So let's round it up. 12 point what? 12.8. Very good. And why did I round to that one? Because in the directions it said round to the nearest tenth. Okay, here we go. Let's do another one. What's your angle? 63. Alright, so what is the 4 to the 63? Adjacent. And what is the x? It's the hypotenuse. So Blake, in this time, we have adjacent and hypotenuse. What trig function is that?
Cosine.
That's cosine. That's why we're going to use cosine this time.
So cosine of 63
Cosine of your angle, cosine of 63.
equals
And cosine is adjacent,
4
which is
over
4, over hypotenuse, which is x. Very good. Alright, so you're dividing, so the opposite is to multiply. Okay, what are you dividing by? What's on the bottom?
x.
X. So you have x times cosine of 63 equals 4. Still got to get x by itself. So what's the opposite of multiplying? And what's with the x? There you go. Okay, put your little squiggly equal sign because it's not exactly. Make sure your calculator is in what mode?
It's in degree.
Degree mode. And 4 divided by cosine of 63. What'd you get? 8.8. Very good.
Why do you have to do the school?
Because it's not exactly 8.8. It's about 8.8.
That's what that's fine.
Huh?
No,
That's what the little squiggly equal sign means. Yep, let's do this one together. Okay, so if you see, some of them are a little different. The x is over here. Okay, so go off your angle. Go off of 20. What is the x?
Jason.
Definitely not.
Oh, no, it's
That's
opposite.
opposite.
Oh, no.
Always go off of your angle. And what is the 14.5?
The hypotenuse.
Okay, so what trig function is opposite and hypotenuse?
Sine.
Sine. Very good.
Oh,
So it's sine of your angle, so sine of 20. And sine is opposite, which is x, over, oh gosh, that's not 20, over hypotenuse, which is 14.5.
x over.
X over 14.5. Okay, so you have division, right? What's the opposite of division? Okay, but this time, what's on the bottom? 14.5. That's what we multiply both sides by. So we have 14.5 times sine of 20 equals x. Stop right there. Is x by itself? Don't do anything else. Don't divide, don't multiply, don't do anything else. X is already by itself, so you're going to plug all that in your calculator. 14.5 times sine of 20. X is already by itself, so we're not doing anything else.
14.5
Times sine of 20.
times.
Alright, what'd y'all get? Basically 5, right? Because it's 4.959. All those round up. Okay, see if you can try those 3 on the bottom. And then we can finish more of that paper. When we finish that paper, we're going to turn it in for a 100-point homework grade. So please make sure it's finished. That paper. When we were just working on. It's not finished. When we did 1 through 5. Yep. Now we can do some more on the bottom of it. Alright, so check your work on this one.
You said we can go ahead and do it.
Yep, all 3 of them. We're going to do all 3.